The flip side of discounting is finding more ways to make profit. And these are the ways that you can make profit. So if you are doing this in your business, you can do this simple maths. And this is going to be the ways to make profit in your business. So it's going to be the number of leads you get in, so the number of kind of people who are curious about working with you, times the number of conversions is going to be your customers. So if you have 100 leads and you're able to convert at 50%, then out of that 100, 50 of those people are going to become your customers. So that's the first bit where we can look at, okay, how can we improve things? And the first way of doing that is improving our conversion rate and the number of leads that we get in the business. That's the first area we're going to look at. The second area is going to be those customers, the number of times they buy from you. So I've got here number of transactions, but that's going to be effectively how often they buy. So if we are running a coffee shop, we're looking to see, okay, how many people can I make customers? And then how many times can I get them to buy coffee from me? And then the final bit is the price, the average sale. So can I get them to spend more each time? So I can get them from coming in and buying, like a latte every morning. Sort of, let's say they buy a latte twice a week. I have a choice of, well, can I get them to buy a latte maybe 3 times a week or 4 times a week? And when they come in, can I get them to get a sort of sweet treat with that latte or maybe upgrade their drink? So I'm looking to kind of increase the volume of sales per customer and the price they spend each time with me. So that's the second bit. And then the final thing, I'm looking to improve my margin by reducing my costs so I can make a bigger margin, which is my profit. So turnover times margin equals profit. And I'll do the maths here to give you an idea of how this all works and how actually by tweaking these things just a little bit can make a massive difference in your business. So this is the sort of equation. So it's the number of leads that you get. So that's sort of potential customers times the number of customers equals how many people, times the conversion. So that's your conversion rate equals the number of customers. The number of times those customers buy from you and how much they spend each time is your turnover. And the margin within your turnover is how much profit you will make. So if we look at this as an example, so 100 leads came into the business over the year. The conversion rate for converting those leads was 20%. So that's 20 customers. Out of those 20 customers, we managed to get them to buy from us twice. Each time they spent £5,000 whenever they purchased from us, which gave us a turnover of £200,000. Now our margin is 50% because 50% are costs. So therefore our profit is half of that, which is 100 grand profit. So in a fictional business, this might be, let's say this is running like Facebook ad campaigns. Okay. So now we want to improve on the number of leads, the conversion rate, the number of sales and the average sale, and our margin. So again, let's run this again. So we've done the first example. Now let's look at the second example. So we want to try and increase the number of leads in the business just by 10%. So instead of the usual 100 leads we had last year, we try and get 110 leads this year. So we've managed to get 10 more leads. We want to increase our conversion rate by 10% as well. So all we're doing is going from 20% to 22%. That's not difficult. By doing that, that brings an additional 24 customers into the business. So we managed to get 4 more customers into the business based on last year just by doing that. Now, when they come into the business, we want to try and increase the average number of times they purchase from us. So we've gone from 2 times to 2.2 on average. We also want to increase our prices. So this is an easy one. We can put our prices up by 10%. So now, on average, whenever they run a Facebook campaign, they spend 5,500, not 5,000. Now, what this does to our turnover is it gives us a whacking great £91,000 extra on top. So now our turnover is 291,000, which is massive. Those small little increases have made a big impact. And now we want to increase our margin. So this is where we can cut costs and be slightly more efficient. And when we do that, our profit jumps from 100 grand to 160 grand. So that extra £60,000 has come from just those 5 elements where we're increasing them by 10%. And when you actually think about this, it's not difficult to get more leads in. You can run a sort of more marketing or do more, like events or whatever you want to do. However you get leads, you can just ramp it up a tiny bit more. You can improve your conversion rate by having a better onboarding process, getting better at client conversations. You can increase the number of sales by offering more things, or maybe trying to sell to people more often throughout the year. Putting your prices up is an easy one because 10% is not very noticeable. And increasing your margins by being more efficient and maybe changing out suppliers for certain else, or maybe moving offices to save on rent, whatever it might be. But all of those aspects together are very, very small, but they all compound themselves and they make a massive difference to the kind of profit you can be taking home year after year.